Hey everyone, this is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona, and I come live most every Tuesday to share with you what I have been working on in my craft room. I don't know about you, but I love Stampin' Up's coordination. What got me hooked was the color coordination that the ribbon matches, the ink matches the cardstock and the designer series paper. I love all of that coordination, but I also love the coordination between the stamp sets and dies and the stamp sets and punches. So I'm going to be working with a stamp set and a punch today. Thanks, Jeanne, for joining me. Thanks for popping on. And Trudy, good to see you. Thanks, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. So I'm going to be using the Layering Leaves stamp set and the bow punch. All right. Hi, Kay. Sunny Oregon, North Carolina. Hope all is well. We're supposed to be 110 here in Arizona today. Oh, we even have Nebraska. So we'll be trying to find ways to stay cool. Thanks also for sharing. Before I get started on today's cards, I did want to make a little bit of announcement about doing my very first Zoom class, and it's going to be using the Layering Leaves stamp set and the bow punch. I just want to make a disclaimer. The cards I'm showing today are not part of the class, but I've designed 3 other beautiful cards. So I'll pop you down and I'll give you a sneak peek of the cards, and then I'll get on to creating what we're working on today. So thanks, Sandy, for joining. We'll get a little quick shot of my ceiling fan before we get down to the desk. There we go. All right. Hey, Laura, thanks for joining. So I'm going to be doing a Zoom class, and for you just need a $46 purchase in my online store. That's what it costs to get the Layering Leaves and the bow punch. And you get 3 card kits and a Zoom class. And then if you can't make the Zoom class, then I will send you the video afterward. I'm just going to give you a kind of a sneak peek. Those are the cards. I don't want to give all the fun away. Good morning, Colleen. Thanks so much for joining. So if you would like some more information on that Zoom class, give me a shout and I will give you the link to where all the information is. Good morning, Margaret. Thank you so much for joining. What I love most about the Layering Leaves, and I've said this many other times, I like the stamp sets that include a variety of sayings, all the sayings that I use on a regular basis. Hello, thank you, so happy to celebrate you, best wishes. That could be birthday, that could be wedding, birthday, sending hugs, thinking of you. So that's why I'm drawn to those. I'm also drawn to the ones with coordinating punches to make your crafting easy peasy. Hey, Debbie, thanks for joining. So let me share the card samples, and I think we'll make 2 today if you're up for that. I have everything all cut and ready to go. This is the first card that I created. I pulled my color combo from Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining. And it's the Masterfully Made Designer Series paper. So I pulled out Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, and Crushed Curry. Hey, Linda, thanks for joining. So those are the colors that are in this Designer Series paper. And like I mentioned at the beginning, the color coordination is what got me hooked. It just, when you pull out this Designer Series paper and you see these colors, you know you're going to be successful in your paper crafting, because Stampin' Up's already experimented and they know what goes together. So this is the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. We're going to make this one, so I won't do so much explaining. I'll wait until we get to that card. Hey, Brenda, thanks for popping in. The second card I created, some days I just start with a blank slate and try to just try different techniques. And so this one, you see here, I used the the stamp and the punch. Here, just the stamp, the different leaves in all of the different colors in the color palette that I showed. Thank you. Thanks. I'm glad you liked them. Experimented too a little bit more using the leaf outline and then the solid leaf, and just changed up my colors using the heat embossing on the Night of Navy, and these are the Nested Essential dies. So I just love that color combination. For the cards for my upcoming Zoom, I picked another Designer Series paper and another awesome color combo, and I know I'm excited about it, and I hope you'll join me. And then I popped in a little hello, little bit different, little landscape, the heat embossing. All right, now that I've shown you the samples, they'll be available on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com if you need a little bit better look at them. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat, especially with the photopolymer stamps. Photopolymer meaning clear, see-through. Sometimes with the Pierce mat, you just get a way better impression. And because I don't want to get my mat all full of ink that gets on my cards, I've just cut up one of the grid papers. All right, let's see. So the first card, and then I put them away, and then I can't find them. So there we go. This is the first card we're going to make, and I will share with you the dimensions of what I have. Night of Navy card base 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just get that going with the bone folder, get a burnish to get that going. So we'll put that aside. Then we have the Melon Mambo layer measuring 5 1/4 by 4. I have a 5 1/4 by 4 basic white for the inside. And then here is I've pre-done this. This is 5 by 3 3/4 crumb cake, embossed with the exposed brick. And you notice I only embossed about 3/4 of the way down. So I will have room to stamp here, and then I will cover that up with a little piece of Designer Series paper. Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining. And then just miscellaneous, a piece of vellum, cut with the Stylish Shapes dies, and my little piece of masterfully made 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. Remember, this paper is 15% off through the end of June. So when you cut it into that little piece, many little pieces, you can get lots of cards. Good morning, Judy. And then, of course, I have scraps of Night of Navy, Melon Mambo, and crushed curry. All righty. So the first thing I need to do is make my leaves. So I'm going to stamp and then punch. Hey, Deb. I hope everyone's doing well today. Getting near the end of June. Can you believe it? It's crazy. When I hear people that their kids are going to start school, it's like, oh, I can't believe it. Yes, thank you, Diane. I pulled the colors from the Designer Series paper, and I just love that. Let's see. So then we need the Melon Mambo. That one's fun to say. And so I just ink up. I've tried to use little kind of skinny scraps. You probably have the scraps in your supplies because when you cut up paper, you usually have those. So they slide into the punch just a little bit easier. And then the crushed curry. Something tells me that. All right, so we've got those. So then we just need to punch those. While we have the ink out, let's do the sentiment. I just love the fonts on these sentiments. So it was thank you so much. And I send out a thank you card with every order. So I do send a lot of thank yous, and just in general, but all of the other sentiments as well I really love. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap on there and use my grid paper to There we go. That's going to be good. Love photopolymer because you can kind of eye it up and see if you're straight. Sometimes even though the photopolymer doesn't always help me make it straight, but I can try. Hey, Pat, thanks for joining. All right, so there we have that on our, that's 5 by 3 3/4 with the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. All right, let's grab out this punch. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Layering Leaves stamp set was designed in part by Rachel Tessman. Stampin' Up, she's with a $1 million sales achiever, and so they get to help design a stamp set. So I'm just lining my flower up with these punches. You see the front, but it's best to put your paper in through the top and try it if you can. If you don't have major hand issues, hold it in one hand and then punch. Oh, Deb, you'll just love this set. I'm glad you ordered it. Then hopefully this will give you some ideas about what to do with it. And they don't have to be as, this one has a lot of little pieces to it, but depends on what kind of a stamper you are. If you, I'm generally clean and simple. So you can just see I'm just trying to line that up best I can without getting my head in the camera. Hey, April, thanks for joining. So we've got, there's pieces there. Enough to make a couple more cards because I know that I will need them. All right, so then basically we just need to put this guy together. All right, so I think what I'll do is get my, I can move my mat because we're done stamping for the time being. We can do that for the third card. We haven't even finished one. Yes, Deb, I just love the sentiments because they're, and the font is just gorgeous. And Rachel Tessman is from Minnesota. So I'm going to layer the crumb cake onto that melon mambo. And then I will put on my little piece of Masterfully Made. That measures 3/4 by 3 3/4. And there is some print on there, so I am trying to make sure that the print is actually right side up. But I'm not sure that anybody would really even notice that. Let's grab some linen thread because I want to put the linen thread on before I put it on the card base. So I use a lot of ribbon. I don't know, probably that's got to be 20 inches, I think. A lot of linen thread. It's $5 a roll, so I feel I can splurge on something. So I start, when I do a bow like this, I start by putting the twine in front and then wrap it around both ways. And I know some people use it right off the spool, but I am sometimes so clumsy. I just need a lot of rope or a lot of space to make my bows. Lots of practice. And so then I'll just make that little bow here, and you can still kind of make it go wherever you want. We'll trim it here at the end. And then we'll put it on the Night of Navy base. I just got that embossing folder, Deb, and just started using it. And so I'm kind of excited to play with it a little bit. I thought it made a kind of it's almost like a nature-ish background, kind of masculine looking. So I thought it worked well for flowers. So I'll put that on my Night of Navy base like so. And then the biggest part left here is to, here's our vellum circle. And man, I have to tell you, I played around with these leaves a long time before I got them in a spot that I wanted. So I promise you it won't be too, hopefully it won't be too painful today. I'm putting glue dots on the back of some of these some of these leaves, I'm going to use the pokey end of my Take Your Pick tool. And if we get it somewhat like the other one, oops, be gentle so you don't rip the leaf off. That would be bad. But you can tell I'm not always gentle either. So, again, just a reminder, I'm doing my very first Zoom class with this set. I'm not doing these cards. I'm doing 3 other beautiful cards. So if you want to know about that, give me a shout. Otherwise, these samples will be on my blog later today at kimplayswithpaper.com. So that one looks like it can go here. And, you know, it doesn't have to be precise. No one's going to know what your card, it's your card. You can do anything you want with it. All right. And then that guy's going to go just right on top. I tried to make it so that the stems overlapped wonderfully, but we don't have all day for that on the live. You guys have other things you'd like to do later today rather than watch me put leaves on vellum. But all right, so that's that. So then what I like to do is turn that over, and now I can put my adhesive on the spots where the cardstock is, so you won't see the adhesive through the vellum. That's sometimes with vellum you want, how am I going to put that on so you don't see the adhesive? And that's one way that I've discovered that you can do that. And just a few to, and then I'm going to place that on the center as best I can, the center of my card. I did add a little more linen thread, so I'll grab some more linen thread. I think I've got 3 of these on order. Oopsie, where's the... tie a quick bunny ear bow. And then you can pull the little ends. We'll use a glue dot. Oh, I bet I've got tons of this paper here. We'll use just roll up a little glue dot and then pop your knot right on that glue dot, and then you can place it on the front of your card. I just thought that, you know, that's a lot of linen thread on one card, but I thought we needed something on those leaves. All right. And then, of course, you got to have jewels, and the jewels that match with this are the Glossy Dots assortment. And there's the Melon Mambo, and they're so pretty. So I'm going to grab 3 of those. If I remember right, they're a little stubborn coming off the sheet, but... so I'm going to pop 2 in the corner here and 1 down here in this other corner. And then I do have that, hey Chris, thanks for joining. I have that white for the middle. We should just pick one of the flowers or leaves, I should say, and stamp in the corner. Thank you, Deb. I'm glad you like it. I hope you get some inspiration for when yours comes in the mail. There we go. All right. So I will just bring in my adhesive and put that in the center of the card so that you can also put those leaves, decorate your envelope. I don't decorate my envelopes here. Sometimes I get in such a hurry to send them. I shouldn't even admit this out loud, that I, get in a hurry to send mine. I don't always do the envelope. All right. So there is that card. The measurements will be on my blog at Kim Plays with Paper. The other one I was going to just quick show you how to make was this card, because I did a little bit of masking with that, and you might want to see how I did that. Thank you. Yep, you can always watch the replay, or I always upload them to YouTube as well. So with this card, kind of the same elements. Basic white, 5 by 3 3/4. Knight of Navy, 5 1/4 by 4. And Melon Mambo this time at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So I started with this piece here, 5 by 3 3/4, and I have a piece of just, I'm going to do my sentiment first, and then I'll show you. So Knight of Navy, thanks so much. It's going to go right here in the corner, if you, just a kind of a reminder what I'm working toward. See if we make that happen here. Just tap, tap, tap gently on that stamp pad. I always tell people, if you get ink all around the edges, you know you've kind of stamped too hard on that pad. Sometimes the pads are really fresh. But then, all right. So what I did from here is kind of think about, where are my leaves gonna go? So you notice I don't want the stems, and I'm not sure how far that's gonna go down. So I just placed a piece of scratch paper. You can tell I've made a few of those. Let me get this so you can see it. Just right about here. And the Knight of Navy. It was my first flower. So you'll see that the stem doesn't go down into my card. It may be covered up with the Designer Series paper, or it may not. So I didn't want to risk that. So I just have this as a little bit of masking, so you don't see part of that leaf. Oh my goodness, then I bump it. But so you can make these go higher or lower. You can fool around with it and design those any way you want. And here's the Melon Mambo. Okay, that can go a little higher, and he can be tilted to that side. And then I still have my Knight of Navy out. Make sure I get the right one so I don't dip the wrong color in the wrong. And there we go. So that's how that's what that looks like. Let me close some of these real quick so I don't get ink all over the rest of the project, because I do like to send these out when I'm done. So then my little piece of, this is, again, the Masterfully Made Designer Series paper. This is 3 3/4 by, let's see, 5 inches. 5 by 3 by 3/4. So we'll just put a little bit of adhesive on here. Kind of made a little garden of flowers. Hey, Teresa. Using the Layering Leaves stamp set and the coordinating bow punch to just create some fun cards. That goes on the Knight of Navy piece that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And then again, I'll add some linen thread. So this one, once you get all of the pieces cut, and if you can just do an assembly line and do a whole bunch of cards in a short period of time. That's what I like about this one. In fact, that's what I did. Hi, Kay. Thanks for joining. Good to see everybody this morning. Again, probably about 20 inches. I know it's too much, but and remember that Designer Series paper sale through June 30th, 15% off, and this Masterfully Made is part of it. I'm just using little pieces, so in that way it's going to go a long way for me, which is nice if you use a lot of Designer Series paper, because we can't hoard it, we have to use it. Okay, there's my base. I will put some more adhesive. The Stampin' Seal Plus works really well for me, so generally. Every now and then I have where I get in a hurry. Okay. That little layer right there. Okay. And of course, what's left? We need jewels. We need the jewels. So I kind of wanted to fill this little empty space on the left-hand side. So I'm gonna, maybe I'll grab one of these larger ones, pull that off with that. And a little guy, and then a medium guy. And he can go right there. And of course, I have the piece for the middle, the 5 1/4 by 4. Like we did before, we'll just melon mambo a little bit in the corner. So anyway, that's, hey Janie, thanks for joining. Those are some just really quick cards that I made with the layering leaves. And I actually this has been out on my table for probably 10 days now. And so I just keep coming back. It's like, oh, I could try this and I could try that. So I have a class all designed for my Zoom and these and others. So anyway. I hope you've gotten some inspiration. I thank everybody who has joined me, commented, shared, liked, loved, watching the replay. That is awesome. I just have so much fun in my craft room, and I hope you do too. I hope you're inspired today to create something, and most of all, send it off to somebody. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of the day, weekend, and it's a holiday weekend, so enjoy. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.